ban away Gangplank? Do you still ban away Kennen? What's the counter pick's going to look like here? Because Liquid gets last say.
And what happens with Kassadin? Kassadin has become the one of the most important parts of the game this time around. Kassadin Sivir combo, one part is done.
So it's actually Liquid saying, we don't want to have to worry about Sivir. We'll ban it away. No one gets to play this champion at all. That means they leave up the Kennen or the other champion they banned, the Gangplank, at some point. There are Gangplank counterpicks out there, and it's actually Envy who are choosing to ban it. Yeah, it's interesting, actually. We were seeing blue side GP bans, which is a bit more atypical, but that's the case we're in, which also means that they've left up the Gnar. Maybe Gnar gets first picked by Seraph, but it means Lourlo gets to play it if he wants to. Kennen's still going to be removed off the table, so the counterpick to Gnar is gone, and so it gets locked in right away. Not sure if Lourlo thought about that coming or not, but
so
that's the choice.
Lourlo does play Rumble as well as Echo and Aurelia. They can go for any of those, try and kill him, but Gnar has been so good in so many different ways. The split pushing, the team fighting, going for some Mallet build, trying to chase people down, create pressure that way. It's a very versatile pick, and I think Envy are very happy with the changes to this draft phase, even though both teams have been choosing red when given the option after game one. So
Liquid came into the series thinking the blue side is better for them. They've changed their tune now, and champs will look a little bit different. We got to figure out what Liquid thinks they can do to turn this one back around, and it's going to be a couple of things different. The Rek'Sai coming through as an early grab, and this looks like they've just taken away Envy's drafts. The Braum, actually, they're considering very important, and Matt's going to grab that.
Definitely has been. And Arc second, like the feel of that Rek'Sai. Going to stick with that one.
Okay. Well, we'll see who gets traded back here with this one. Aurelia seems unlikely here, but the Jhin wouldn't be too surprising, honestly. That's going to be locked in already. Looks like Envy not going to show too many things here as they're just hovering junglers, and they say, Elise Gragas, let's make it Gragas. Not showing any of their other matchups. Even though they could pick support safely and they could blind pick a mid laner, they will not.
I would expect the Ashe pick here from Jynthe. I haven't seen him play it too often, but that would be the go-to down if you move down the line. Ashe, the common pick into Jhin, and I would assume that they would save their counter pick here until the other solo is revealed by Envy. So just pick up AD carry, and I'd say top laner, because you're not really going to surprise anybody.
I think you definitely save mid for left. At this point of the draft, I think there's no obvious blind pick mids. Nothing too surprising came out of the drafts here, and you pick, you pick red side for a reason. To get a counter pick on mid lane is usually one of the major reasons for that. Also worth noting, Envy have a bit of a lower damage composition. This is the first time that Seraph's not on what could be kind of considered a hard carry.
Gnar does a lot of damage, though.
Comes through as the final pick here for Jynthe. And yes, he can do a lot of damage. It's not Kassadin, it's not Aurelia. And with that in mind, you've now got a super high damage backliner. I think Jinx is super strong. Now, keep in mind, we are still playing on 6.15, the same patch from the playoffs. So this is not with the Super Mega Death Rocket buffs that came in 6.17. This is the pre-buff Jinx, but I think the champ is still very strong.
Yeah, I mean, it is strong if you can protect her, if you can get that DPS uptime, allow her to freely auto-attack, allow her to chase people down, get the resets on the passive. However, it's pretty scary to do that because you're playing Jinx into a Gragas Gnar, and now on top of that, you have to worry about Cassiopeia ultimate.
Yeah, and the Black Shield to go along with it. I love Morgana into Braum. All his CC is very well telegraphed, and any good player on land should be able to Black Shield an important target before that CC lands. Hakuho gets the Morgana to make sure people stay alive and stay happy.
Your damage question has been completely solved here. You got your flat armor penetration, Jhin, and the Cassiopeia. That right there is enough, not to mention the rest of what Envy are fielding here.
Right.
So it looks like they have a pretty good setup here running into this team. I'm very curious as to what their mid lane into Cassio can be here.
Syndra going to be the one here, so pickup potential I think is still a bit better for Envy. You've got Dark Bindings, you've got Deadly Flourish, you've got Gragas Flashes and whatnot with the team fight power to back it up, but a Syndra can do the same kind of thing. Both these teams running 2.5 carries. Gnar and Echo both can just snowball off the rails and take games over, but they tend to play tanks and play as a tank in more neutral games, so we'll have to see which way that goes. But otherwise, it's very focused on the mid laners and AD carries here, with the potential that Jinx can honestly 1v5 with the right situation.
All right, well, he's going to have Bard shield in front of him with the feeling of Arc second. Another thing I really do like, you know, the Syndra Jinx backline. Syndra's AoE line stun can get a couple of priority targets in the same thing, and Braum can also zone off another wide area of the team fight. So there's some really good possibilities for jungle corridor fights, you know, for fights leading up to objectives, to try and use the terrain to your advantage when you do have these really long range line stuns and AoE things that they are packing.
All right, so we are getting ready to go into the third and what could be final game of this match. This could be the end of the season for Liquid. They need to win this one to pull it back in. So now is the time to put your faith and your hope and your votes behind your teams. Hashtag TL win, hashtag Envy win, cheering in the audience. There's some of the signs saying our Lord and Savior cheering on for Envy's AD carry. And we are on to the rift for game 3.
Well, he's looking to deliver on his prophecy of the 3-0 for Envy. Meanwhile, Team Liquid fans looking for that reverse sweep. No strangers to the reverse sweep. They have learned from it being used against them, and
maybe they can turn the tables. We'll see what happens. It's actually, I want to bring up actually the Our Lord and Savior sign, because it's actually been the pregame topic of the players every single game. For whatever reason, it's one of my favorite things about LCS is the 5 minutes they're in the lobby before the game starts talking about whatever they consider topical. Sadly, they spell Savior with a U, but that's the Canadian way, I understand. You know, US English doesn't have that, but that's okay.
30 seconds until minions
is it okay?
I mean, I'm not going to hate you for it. I just don't spell it that way.
All
Here
right.
we go. Jungle invade for Envy. Arc second running away. Body. I don't know if he... I mean, I guess if Deadly Flourish lands, potentially you get chained down. If he doesn't know Dark Binding could be behind, I think it's...
I mean, exactly. it's all about what you are working with, right? They don't have information on who's up there. Envy only had 3 people. They didn't have the Morgana or the Jhin with them, but Arc second did not know that, so he's playing safer.
Fenix trusting his juking skills to get away from the binding. If he had flashed, he would have lived, but if he had bound, he would have died.
But it's a large bit of damage, and that's going to be a whole potion he's missing for the lane phase.
Yeah, it's too late to recall and heal, so that is a big deal.
Oh, they're going for a delayed invade here on the top side.
Flashless Rek'Sai. Seraph and Procxin going to wait till they pull aggro. And here comes the play. Body slams. Arc second, good damage. The boomerang slowing as well. Here comes the chase, and Arc second can't get away. The flash chase, and that's going to be the kill. First blood to Envy's jungler, and now Lourlo going to fight back what he can, but be careful. He's in a 1v2, and suddenly bit off more than he can chew. That's a not good spot to be in. Echo wish he could rewind this early game and do it all over again.
Oh, that is very unlucky for Team Envy. Arc second, I mean, not for Team Envy, for Team Liquid.
I know, we keep expecting Envy to be on red, but no, beautifully, beautifully done. The Envy invade working out. I mean, amazing.
They invade with 3 people, get the flash with only a Gragas body slam, and then they go punish that flash right after. This has honestly been something that's more and more common in pro play, is going for those invades on the top side, since junglers have become more and more predictable, starting up there for the Krug buff. The ward, trinket ward that was placed in that 3-man invade, which got the flash also.
He's got a crit. Matt knew he wouldn't die to it, but it still means a lot of damage. Envy now winning the laning phase, and suddenly it's a game with Envy winning the early game.
Exactly. What does the game look like when Team Liquid don't even get the early advantage here? Team Envy making a very good case in the opening moments. But as we were talking about on the starting area there up by the Krugs, that early invade provides so much value for Envy. They got the jungler flash plus the trinket ward down to go punish the flash afterwards.
It's triggered. Gets a bit more damage down, and yeah, 900 gold lead for Team Envy bringing into this one. Feels good. Arc second just slowly and painstakingly clearing through his jungle. No longer gets a leash because his top laner has to actually play the laning phase.
Also without flash. You know, Lourlo took the beating there. He had to use his teleport early. He had to use his flash early. Lourlo right now is in a very bad spot as well. And he's trying to clean up the minions up by his turret here, as Seraph is backing off and respecting the jungle pressure.
Yeah, although weirdly enough, Procxin's jungle has been a little bit slow. He took the first blood and recalled for a Hunter's Potion to have infinite resources while going through the jungle. But he actually hit level 3 a little bit later than Arcsecond did. Now trying to go into the jungle. Only for the pink ward, though. He could have stolen red if he knew it was there, but playing it quite a bit safer. And Procxin will not really punish much, as Arcsecond takes his first recall and heals back to full. And is honestly not that far behind Procxin. He's down a scuttle or two.
There are also changes, you know, you don't get a lot of experience for the pre-minion spawn First Bloods anymore. So,
Right.
yeah, that First Blood was great for gold, but you talk about experience levels, and that is very important as well. Progress now, you know, jumping out to level 6 super soon.
Yeah, camps are worth so much. The like 50 XP you get from the kill is literally a quarter of a camp in terms of value. So, not the worst in the world. Arcsecond gonna go ahead and start his blue buff now, and though both junglers are a little bit slow, he's at least on pace somewhat. And Fenix is going to get a nice 5-minute blue buff here. If Liquid need a way to come back, Fenix is going to be one of the major actors, and that stack comes through and has a blue buff to try to push through his lane advantage. Right now, though, down 8 minions under Ninja. He's going to get some of those back now.
5 to be exact.
Then
Those up.
4. Eventually. Ooh, finds Ninja, though. And we do not have the blue on Ninja, though. Procxin did get that for himself. Let's see how this plays out. The gold lead's still staying about 900 to 1,000. So far, pretty equivalent, but plus 10 in the bot lane. Lot is doing very well for himself. Keep in mind, a first blood that early is only worth 500, not 600 total gold, because the assist pool goes down. But that still means 400 to 500 gold was gained from the laning phase itself in terms of farming better. He's still looking quite good. See if they can find another play pretty soon. As the wave will push toward Liquid's turret now. Neither jungler really pulled down.
Hakuho doing a good job of harassing there on the Morgana. Also has Ignite for both sides in the bottom lane. So definitely jungler kill pressure down there. Binding actually does land. Pretty good chunk here.
Fade back a little bit onto Lod, and yeah, nice zap shot from Jynthe, but otherwise it's been Envy who just look much better in this laning phase. There's crit. Q's gonna knock down the melee minion, and an early recall for Lot actually got him a cull. Same for Jynthe, but just better items on this Jhin right now.
Procxin went through the whole jungle, laid down deep wards, but did not step in that brush to see the pink ward that saw him as he walked by. And now Ninja's gonna have to go down to the bottom side of the map. I think that would be a little bit ambitious to go for a tower dive there when they don't see Procxin.
Yeah, they really didn't have much vision. They called it off. I think it could have been good, but even the parallel convergence coming down lets him know that that Echo did roam and is going to come back up the river. Didn't recall, he did something else.
Summoners still available too, so mid laners can flash out of these ganks. Little roam there. Not going to cost them anything.
Procxin with the Raptor buff.
Found it!
Made aware. Knocks the ward down. Feels good. More gold being earned. Hakuho, oof. Yeah, that's Thunderlord's triggering a Dark Binding for you.
Yeah, he already had walked in 2 ticks from the soil, and so the binding also gets the bonus damage there. This Jinx is getting beat up in lane.
Yeah, Hakuho is actually going for a pretty greedy build, though. His recall timing ended up being Frostfang and not parts of a Sightstone, so there'll be a bit longer where Envy is going to be wardless down here, and it's going to rely on Black Shield almost exclusively to not get killed off by a gank. So that is a window that Liquid could potentially abuse, knowing it's going to be such a late Sightstone.
Yeah, not only that, but also jungler here, Arcsecond going for the health instead of the early Tiamat. Now, early Tiamat is super duper common now for Rek'Sai to increase the clear speed. It will be a bit more tanky this way, but he's delaying both jungle item and the AoE clear.
It's the same build as last game, where it's just the early Jarum's Fist making that the play right now. Looking like this is going to be Seraph landing a stun and a Q, and Lourlo goes, ow, that was kind of rough. The first pick Gnar, the Kennen ban, and Seraph looks very good in this one. Quick fight for the blue buff. And Ninja's going to grab that one. Poisons it. There we go. Mid lane actually staying pretty close to equal, though. Hakuho going to recall his individual gold. So the funny thing is, I'm cheating, but look what Hakuho buys. He has roughly exactly 800 gold, roughly exactly. He had like 790 gold on the recall, and goes Boots Pink Ward instead of completing the Sightstone. So still not really getting the vision down. Doesn't seem to need it in any way.
I mean, with the way this game is going, right? Both teams are just farming in lane. So I guess if he's going to stay in lane the whole time and not go for the roam, then maybe doesn't feel like investing in the Sightstone quite yet. I definitely would recommend that, though. I have to say though,
It up. Log gets the black shield, runs forward, lands the crit. Here comes Curtain Call. How good is Jynthe dodging? He's not. That's gonna be the kill picked up. Lod now makes it 2-0.
Yeah, that was very good by Law. You know, once you get tagged by that first one, don't even blow your flash. He's got 3 more bullets left in the chamber, and there's no way you're getting out of that range. Just really good outplay there from Law. Jynthe, this Jinx is not working out for them. Getting destroyed in lane. You can see the idea behind it though, I guess, because I talked about, oh yeah, maybe they're gonna look to shore up their team fighting in the draft phase. Actually,
flash knock up in the chain stun into the ulti. That's the kill picked up. Not a chance for Ninja. And Liquid finally gets something good on the scoreboard.
Well, Syndra bursts right there, able to get that kill in the mid lane, but Jungler will step in to clear out the minions, so in the end, that's just gonna be a kill on the board, whereas the bottom lane is getting destroyed. They also got that first turret gold once again.
On the Lod. He's rich right here. He's up 20 minions. He's up the first turret. Individual gold-wise, it's a 1,500 gold lead just for the AD carry.
And that's a Jhin, one of the early spiking ones, right? He's building right into Ghostblade. That's going to be a super early Ghostblade. And there's not going to be armor on any of these tanks that early on. They've got pink ward control here.
Slipping away from Liquid faster and faster.
If this binding lands, it should be an easy deadly flourish into a... Oh, God.
Ding. That's going to be a block, but here comes a flash follow, and that's going to be easy for Hakuho to get the stun. Goodbye, Jynthe is dead. Matt flashes out to keep himself alive, but more pickoffs.
Pink wards, they don't just save lives, but they can also be used offensively right there, yes.
Yeah.
Good binding there from the Fog of War, and that is a dead AD carry. Once again, no chance to use his flash, really, because he was going to die either way, so holds on to it, but Lod is going to take over this game.
Pushing very far ahead, absolutely, yeah. And unfortunately, I think Liquid had no idea if Envy were in the lane brush or in the river. They chose one. They guessed wrong. Here comes the CC chain as Seraph is fighting Lourlo, who is actually winning this one a little bit.
Yeah, Rek'Thai also on the way here, so Seraph definitely wise to back off there.
You can see they're afraid of it being in that brush. Is why he zapped it. He hugs left, and he's like, nope. We were on that side.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can say, hey, you see the projectile, then you should be able to react super quick. He was trying to, he had his mouse over the minions though, because you're trying to last hit, right? So you would have to see the projectile, move your mouse all the way to the back side of your screen, try and flash it.
Yep.
But not going to be that quick.
Yeah, and the whole time they're watching the bottom side. They think it's in that lane brush. It's the much more common route to gank from.
Yeah. And even if you shoot your zap in there, that doesn't guarantee that it's clean. So it's not like you can hug on that side of the minions either.
And just be like, ah, they must not be there.
Yeah.
Yep. So, smart mind games and Envy with 1,000 damage crit, better than Smite ever could. Secure themselves the Cloud Drake. They run quick. And with that bottom turret already dead, and Jinx herself being a fairly easy to gank AD carry, there's a lot of room to work with here. It's such a difficult game to beat Jynthe right now.
You can say that again. He's had it's been a rough series to beat Jynthe, actually, with Envy previously running a lot of dive. And this time around, he's just going to get outpaced for the team fights. Everybody's going to try and kill him for the team fight. That's the whole goal. You know, Team Liquid trying to build this around that. But if you're trying to build around one of those late game AD carries that builds off multipliers, and delaying those multipliers early is going to be very rough.
Definitely will. So, difficult road ahead for Liquid. There's always the chance to win. We've seen even bigger comebacks come out from Envy. Here comes the curtain call play, looking for Fenix. Arc's going to take some of that up, though. And they're going to land another root. It's going to be a bit of damage going back and forth. The dive in. Stun's going to land on a Lourlo. Takes a whole bunch of damage. Jinx Rocket means almost nothing, though. Hits the backline, and Ninja able to flash waves. Here comes the re-engage. Seraph finds Fenix, and there's the kill off from Lod. Nicely done. Lands the crit. And Lourlo in the wrong side of town. Can't find much. A double kill comes through. Lod actually gets himself another as Jynthe pops the heal and runs away. And Lourlo will be the final casualty of this one. Ninja actually is going to survive thanks to his Negatron cloak, and more kills for Envy.
Yeah, you caution against this Jhin taking over the game. It's pretty easy. Roams up to the mid lane. Ninja is very safe because he opens up the ultimate there to the zone for Ninja. They know they can't go all in on him, and they kind of bait it around there. Envy did a good job of drawing Team Liquid in. Teleport comes down from Seraph, and it's a pretty easy cleanup there as they split up Team Liquid and claim kills across the map here. Second turret goes down for Team Envy,
Ooh,
and
a flank play.
they're not even going to make this one look close.
Lourlo TPing Rek'Sai, Void rushed across.
But there's a turret still standing. I mean, Procxin gets up here.
Procxin's gonna flash. Time Winder, bit of damage, doesn't really mean anything, and that's what you burned your teleport cooldown for, was a bit of damage on a Procxin.
Now you're giving up some more top lane pressure, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the top lane's already pushing for
That
Seraph.
turret might die.
Yeah. Team Liquid struggling at the moment. There it is, though. Cover fire from Lod, Black Shield from Hakuho, and it's a pretty easy bait there for Ninja. He also is able to dodge and flash away. He gets the heal. Actually, that heal is very important for him to be able to survive. Meanwhile, though, everyone else just gets chased down as Lod is king of the hill here in the mid lane and chases everyone out.
You get the final kill there as Lourlo. Ninja knows his limits. He was actually a quarter second away from dying because the phase die was actually cast and almost got the auto attack Lourlo. Not quite though, and he's just fine. Top lane turret actually didn't take too much damage. I thought Seraph was going to get more done on that, but he chose to recall and stay safe. We have new lane assignments now as the Envy dual lane holds the top side for a short amount of time.
95 CS, 15 minutes into the game for the hyper scaling AD carry. Not a pretty picture.
When you have pickaxe berserker threes for the mid game team fight, you are not very useful to champion. It's a very uphill climb. This is, I mean, this is almost impossible now. It's getting very, very quickly out of hand for Liquid.
All right, so it is dire for Liquid right now, but Envy, things are looking very bright for them, right? You know, they talked about 3-0ing. It looks very probable that they will come up with that 3-0. Next up in the gauntlet, though,
Cloud9.
it gets very, very difficult very, very quickly. Cloud9 is looking angry. They just lost the finals.
Yep.
They looked a lot better doing it, though, despite, you know, some games, you know, everybody's nitpicking all the mistakes. They got to the finals for a reason.
Yes.
They actually had a hard fight in the finals, and they've made a lot of improvements since the normal season. So that is going to be a very difficult gauntlet opponent to look forward to.
Yes, and that's going to be the test, though, is Envy has to finish this series, and they've got 21 hours until that series starts, presuming that they actually win this game here and close the match out, and they've got to be ready. And of course, here's 3 games of their picks shown to the world to let them know what kind of things they're ready to play, what kind of things they're good at. Look at their tendencies, look at their counters, and they've got to get ready for the C9 set.
I mean, yeah, I guess they did show the Kassadin. Seraph has been playing a lot of Kassadin solo queue, so technically you could scout it, but Seraph plays, like I said, 20 different champions in the LCS. I mean, go ahead, scout Seraph, see what, like...
Yeah. I mean, our second plays Jungle Cho'Gath in solo queue doesn't mean that he's going to bring it out in the series, so it's something to be said for watching it on the stage.
Yeah, he did show they are willing to play it in the LCS. He's very willing to play a lot of things in the LCS.
Yeah.
But yeah, Team Envy, we shall see as they move forward.
Yeah. Liquid going to have to dig very deep here in this one. 7,000 down. We've seen bigger comebacks. They're just very rare, but they're going to hope that it happens. One good team fight can look great. They've got the burst damage. A good Jinx Rocket can secure a kill once she gets, i.e. Hurricane. She can carry some team fights, and if Liquid can drag it out, that happens, but Envy are known to actually play pretty viciously here. They've been able to close the games out once they get their lead in pretty short order, as Ocean Drake spawns in 20 seconds, and they can fight for that.
And Team Envy are very well equipped, right? They've got all the vision control over the objectives, and they have Morgana and Jhin, both very good at, you know, punishing people for coming into low vision areas. Pick potential, definitely there. Stray Binding, Jhin ultimate. Okay. That one is going to be on Braum, so he gets to block the Deadly Flourish. Also, Envy are spread out right now. They're getting top lane priority on the minion shoving, as well as bottom lane, before moving over to get that Drake. This is not the best Drakes for snowballing wind into ocean, but I mean, any Drake is Team Envy property, basically, so go and collect.
Yep. Might as well. Make sure you don't leave anything easy off of the map. Liquid playing to contest instead of doing something else across the map. Just kind of seems unfortunate. They're really not making any proactive plays at all. You know they're going to go for Ocean and nothing gets done.
Yeah, Envy pushed in all 3 minion waves. Oh, now they got to pick.
And Phoenix gets slowed. He flashes. It doesn't matter. The Dark Binding to make sure Hakuho flashes to kill secure. 2-0-3. Second highest number of kills in the team. And here comes bot lane. 4 members of Envy. Look at knock it down.
Mid lane also is being pushed up. Cassiopeia doesn't even have to join this bottom lane push. Ninja's gonna try and take down mid lane while they're at it, and inhibitor turret already under fire. 19 minutes into the game, Ninja does come over, and they're gonna take it.
The game's getting more and more convincing here for Envy. A 19-minute inhibitor take is here in front of us, as they are not relenting in the slightest. Down goes the structure at 1909. Quick retreat. Baron isn't even up yet. They couldn't take it if they wanted to. All Lourlo's doing is pushing a turret on the side. Doesn't matter enough.
Yeah, I mean, Team Envy definitely looking better and better as this series goes on too, right?
Yeah.
There's always two schools of thought with the gauntlet style games. You know, oh yeah, you have to work your way up through this gauntlet and play 3 best of 5s, but hey, you get some practice while doing it. You know, some teams last year, Cloud9 was very outspoken. They're like, we learned a lot during the gauntlet. Our gauntlet run actually improved our team play, kept us practice, you know, kept us up to date. Yes, you have to show a lot of stuff. Yes, there are possibilities of burnout, but it does depend on how well you can manage players and stuff like that. There are also pros, you know.
Sure, of
you
course.
can work your way up. Your Super Saiyan training doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Great. Well, we'll see what it looks like here with this one, because Cloud9, of course, watching this series and ready for the next opponent there. You know, again, as you mentioned, bouncing back from the TSM finals loss. And even then, Immortals watching that one, waiting as the final boss. And we'll see what that looks like over time. Of course, these teams would be scrimming the entire time, but nothing does quite substitute for on-stage experience in front of the lights, in front of the fans, and making sure this game actually counts. 8,000 the lead now as Baron has spawned, and be looking at topside.
Looks like there will be a meeting here. I mean, Team Liquid, well, we're already projecting in later into the gauntlet. You know, they're 7,000 gold down. That can be changed. Remember game 1 where Envy were able to get that team fight really late in the game? They were 8,000 gold down before they turn around this team fight. They get Baron afterwards. Those things are very rare. But if Team Envy botch a Baron attempt, then Team Liquid might be able to try and turn something around. Team Envy, though, they're not going for that. Clean up all of the outer turrets here. Collect that gold.
Let's see what else they can grab. 9,000 now the lead as they're looking for that top lane inhibitor, as Liquid just, they haven't gotten the time to get some real items, and no major completed items still for that Jinx. There comes the Mega Gnar, lands on a few already. Fenix gets popped in. Here comes the dive. A great knockback. That's going to be the snipe onto Matt as well. An 800 damage crit from the final shot of Curtain Call. And the middle turret's going to be going down already the 2 for 0. That Mega Death Rocket did basically nothing. Lourlo flashes to save it. Look for Hakuho. Does get one and ults back. That's at least one traded around, but it's still a 4 versus 3. Liquid have very little to do. Mid lane inhibitor going to be dropping as Procxin chases Lourlo out. A couple more shots from Lotta that will be knocked down. 2 inhibitors are dropped, and Envy are very, very close to securing this series, making it the 3-0, and getting that rematch with C9.
And it is important, if you are running through a gauntlet, to have 3 zeros, right? You want to cut down on the games. Yes, it is good to be on stage and get a little bit of practice in, but as they said, 5-game best of 5 series, especially if the games are long, are very draining. So this one is kind of calming now for Envy. They're so far ahead right now. They're just cleaning up, going for this tower dive. They actually hit a couple good skill shots there. Seraph doesn't hesitate, goes right in on the Gnar. This one is not going to be a draining series for them, setting them up for the next couple of stages, reducing the overall games that they do have to play.
Yep. And Lad going for the famed double blade of Drafthar build has the same components for another one. I think he might just be ahead of the curve and not realize he's got one already, but...
he's probably going to turn that one into an Infinity Edge.
And one becomes Maw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can just sit on... I'm a big fan of sitting on Serrated Dirk. Serrated Dirk is basically what we use to determine the value of armor penetration. So by definition, it is cost efficient. That's how much armor penetration just costs, because that's its component, right?
And the thing is, armor pen, the only time armor pen actually goes up is into Yomu. Duskblade and Maw both the same armor pen as the Serrated Dirk in the first place. You can't even upgrade the stat anymore.
So if that's the stat you want, then sit on the build that he's sitting on right now.
And now the play for the Baron. Arc second Nard into the wall, taking way too much damage. The Bind as well. The chain CC, and they're actually going to juke away from the Jinx Rocket to make sure nothing happens. Blue team has secured Baron Nashor. That is Team Envy. And Matt is suddenly very much on the wrong side of town. Doesn't dodge a single one of the shots, and that's going to be the shutdown. Ninja gets the kill for himself. 11-2, wearing a Baron buff, looking at a very fast game win now for Envy.
Yep. I mean, they've pretty much removed all the small percentage chances of comebacks for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Now they're facing 2 inhibitors down, Baroned up, huge gold lead, playmaking from Procxin. Let's see if he can solo Fenix.
Damage onto him, but Jynthe comes around and says, don't you dare want to be my mid laner. It's a 2v1. I'm on his team. Let me send you away. But
Throw
there's
a
going to be
zap at him.
another... Yeah, sends a cork at him.
Away!
There we go. Out he goes. Top inhibitor going to go down. Bot has respawned, but Procxin's working on it right now, and this is everything right now. This is the game-winning push in most situations right now. Envy looking to close out the rest of the base. Liquid needs some kind of a minor miracle to somehow stay alive. Not even win the game, but just stay alive for the next few minutes.
Yeah, Team Liquid are looking forward, you know, next split, right? Next spring. They rebuilt their team. They're trying out these different subs, trying to figure out which parts work for the team, because they are doing some restructuring.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, got to figure out what they're actually going to play with. Do they keep Jynthe? Are they trying out more people? Of course, their subs have been locked for over a month right now. So at this point, this is just what they've had to work with after their recent changes of Dardoch and Fabi leaving the roster. And, well, it's time for Envy to move on to tomorrow's match at this point. Run it down mid, double super minions, every single lane. Baron buff still on for 2 minutes. Huge gold lead, everything they need to close this one out.
Definitely true. Ocean Drake not going to draw anyone away, no matter
You don't
how
waste the
tempting.
time. It is not worth the time. Your opponents gain golden XP while you're not pushing, as they're just grabbing the minion waves themselves. So close it out. That's the name of the game here for Envy. They've got the team ready to go. The binding lands a defuse, but a great stun turns it back around. Still doesn't matter. They blow up the mid laner. The game-winning team fight, the match-winning team fight is here. Ninja fighting off with Matt. The stun from Lourlo just means nothing. Petrifying gaze to knock them all down. That's 3 already for Envy. Arc second on the side, fighting Procxin. Jungle on jungle fight, but it just doesn't mean nearly enough. Black Shield is in. Ninja chased out by Jynthe. The final Nexus turret goes down. Max turret score, max fantasy points, and onto the Nexus they go. That's a 26-minute win. A crushing game win as Envy 3-0s the series. They will battle Cloud9 for the right to fight Immortals for a spot at Worlds. Envy finally getting a win in the postseason. Step 1 complete. Beat